for some reason they have an extra stage for each character where they just have like a random side character play a level.
Right.
I don't know why.
So you're still playing as Rouge.
Actually, I don't think Shadow ever goes to this level, right?
No, this is all Rouge's extra level.
Yeah. I just thought that because like Sonic's the extra level in Sonic's campaign was like Tails just plays Wave Ocean again. Alright, I think this is the end. Yeah, here it is.
And then we have a boss battle after this.
What's over here? Oh, nothing. I can't go in there because there's an invisible wall. Alright. Well, the only reason we're behind Ethan is because of that fucking boss, so...
The, Iblis...
I mean, to be fair, even at this game's best, it's not exactly riveting.
What did you think of my beautiful technique?
No lies detected.
Seriously,
I fucked around pretty much that whole level, and somehow I still got an S.
As long as you do it quickly.
And get lots of coins.
Don't you get it, Mikey? Do it really fast!
Do everything perfectly, Mikey, and do it really fast. Did I
Mikey,
stutter?
Fix everything and do it all really fast.
Except
Mikey,
for your driving. You need to back off.
You need to slow down on the driving, Mikey.
You need to protect the bubble more closely. Because you are...
the inside of his windshield was all disgustingly dirty, too. Like, because he never cleaned it.
Mikey!
I mean, I can see through it just
I
fine.
even commented on it. What?
I can see through it just fine.
It's obstructed. Like, it's actually bad because it's all cloudy.
Just fine. It's,
you have to
like,
clear it out from
if
time
there was
to
like
time.
a big brown splotch in the middle of the windshield, sure, I'm gonna clean that. But it's like
Rouge,
the only time that the stuff shows up is if it's like foggy on the inside. Like there's like
it's always foggy because it's never been cleaned before.
Dude, what are you, like a grandma?
What would you like me to do?
It's
Take this and deliver it.
driving is already the most dangerous thing that a person can do. So when I see behaviors like that, it just makes me really nervous that something's going to happen.
Well, you have I suppose you have a different perspective on this since
it's
what happened to you.
Yes, I've been in an accident and I deal with drivers all day, so I'm partial to that sort of thing. So I get really nervous for people's safety.
By the way, Omega is voiced by a trans person.
I don't want you to become Mecha, Mikey, because they have to synthetically revive you and turn you into a cyborg after you get in an accident.
Okay, that sounds cool, though.
The $6 million paradigm gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
Yeah, so Omega is voiced by Maddie Blaustein, who was unfortunately passed on. I believe she also voiced Meowth on the Pokemon anime.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to her?
I think she passed away. I don't know what of.
So, decided to void your return ticket now, did you?
Meowth, that's right.
Meanwhile, Testicles is voiced by Yami Yugi.
The answer is yes.
Wait, oh shit, really?
That's two characters in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, so basically... Alonso, I'm not going to remember what any of these soundboard clips are in post.
It's just for you.
So we're just gonna be laughing for no reason.
A search for the guilty. Who did this, you may ask?
So basically what Mephiles is saying is that when Iblis was released because Elise died in the egg carrier accident from the other story, humanity put Shadow on trial and blamed him for it. It was basically a witch hunt type thing. And then they sealed him away in that pink thing. So Mephiles is trying to tempt Shadow to the dark side.
It's only fair.
And Shadow's like, no, Tom.
You have every right to want justice.
And King K tried to make the case that this story is like secretly brilliant, and I don't see it.
Okay,
because
they're high.
You forgive
No.
humanity this
Nothing is
folly,
good.
then?
I don't think he was high at the time, no. But
Who?
King K,
King K.
my friend from the Inverse Cast. It was either him or Jay's Reviews or both of them that tried to say that this story about Shadow being blamed and choosing to fight for humanity anyway was secretly brilliant or something. But I think...
And they get high frequently?
We're not talking about that.
No.
What I am talking about is I don't really agree with them because so far these cutscenes are boring as shit.
Let's see if you can entertain me.
As far as I'm concerned, this game doesn't have a story.
If there is good character work going on here, it's like... my eyes are glazing over watching these cutscenes, so it's like...
I mean, you can make any story seem better than it is with hypotheticals or theory crafting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but people do the same thing for SA2, Alonzo.
Well, yeah. But there are people playing...
People try to pretend that Dr. Gerald Robotnik somehow rigging the Ark to crash into the Earth despite having been captured and thrown in prison on Prison Island somehow makes sense.
True.
So he either wasn't killed during the Ark raid or wasn't captured and removed from the Ark during the Ark raid and hit on it the whole time and then was captured later after he set up the Ark to do the thing. Or he somehow escaped prison and went all the way back to the Ark and set it up to do the thing. But the game does not explain any of it. But they are explicit in saying that the prison cell with all the writing on it was his.
I'm running out of things to comment on.
Yeah, Sonic 06 does that.
I'm amazed that they can render this many skiddly boops around the playfield.
I think they prefer the term little people.
I think they prefer the term scatmen, Ethan.
That sounds
Basically, you have to kill enough of these to fill up your chaos meter so that you can go Kaioken.
So you could transform back into Dr.
You can
Jekyll.
go ape mode.
You can go monkey mode.
You see that AVGN released a new video where he talks about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde again.
Oh, I thought I was just a reposter. He's just uploading old stuff. He's talking about...
It's like that Obama meme where Obama's holding like a mug of beer and he's like, it's a repost, but it's a good repost.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay, finally, we can go monkey mode.
AVGN needs to stop now.
Yeah.
Because the episodes for the last few years have been really, really bad.
Yeah, haven't watched much.
Like he's literally forgotten how to play the character.
He's
not writing
like
for the character anymore. Those Screenwave guys are.
I know they write it, but he doesn't know how to act it either because he's like this happy, cheery guy. He's not angry ever.
I mean, like he's basically admitted that he only still does it anymore for money.
I don't know.
And meanwhile, he's got his shitty garage band that he has the nerve to, like, advertise at conventions. Like, when I was at Too Many Games, there was a Rex Viper concert being advertised.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine anybody actually wanting to sit down and watch that.
I could imagine plenty of people. I mean, they filled the venue, I'm sure.
But it's like
And it's
him
not a
and a
garage
couple of
band, if only.
Screenwave guys. Like the guy who played the clown in the Spawn review was on the band, I think. So what Rouge did is she gave one of the Chaos Emeralds to Omega because they saw his dilapidated body with all the dust on it earlier when they were in Crisis City. So she knew he would survive all the way up to this point in the future. So she gave him the emerald so he could give it back to Shadow so he could time travel back home.
Masterful gambit, Rouge.
Now, Omega kind of sucks because, Omega doesn't have, like, in Sonic Heroes he could punch people, but you can't do that anymore. You can only shoot. And it's hard to hit people properly, so the best thing to do is to just stand in place and mash the glide and press the X button over and over again.
There are funny bits in the new Video Game Nerd video, though. Like, the beginning is him... He does all the skits in his videos, and there are some good bits occasionally, but at the beginning of the video is him making fun of parodying The Exorcist, where it like starts off of them at a burial site and they're digging.
Why does this keep happening? Come on.
Because it's an Xbox.
It's a corn box.
The corny box.
It's not my potato station.
Yeah. Anyway, the video starts with him digging. He's wearing old man makeup and has his hair with talcum powder in it, so it's all gray.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks like an old dude. And then he's digging and he finds NES cartridge, broken NES cartridge. And then he's like digging and he finds a penny. He picks up the penny and put it in his pocket, like, yeah. It's funny, like he's in this ancient burial site and he finds a penny and all of it for some reason.
Well, the point where I was like the 200th episode, the LJN marathon, where half of it is just a clip show from his old videos, and then the stuff that isn't is like, eh. And then there's the skit about him trying to remake Back to the Future on NES with the guy who made the AVGN games.
Yeah, that fucking sucked. Like, what was funny? But it was clearly not an NES game.
Yes, it was a Unity game. I think the idea was it was a retro-styled throwback game inspired by Back to the Future and NES. Kind of like what the AVGN games are. The AVGN Adventures, I mean.
But it's fake bit, not 8-bit.
You know the bit.
I hate that style. There are so many games that like pretend to be old school looking, but it doesn't actually follow the NES rules. Like,
yeah, they don't have the color. Like they don't observe the color or sprite limitations. It's just
the sprites just look blocky. Yeah.
Well, that's
like Shovel Knight is a good example of something that like is inspired, but it actually looks good.
Yes.
Whereas like the AVGN games look shitty.
Wasn't also a lot of the philosophy on modern day kind of like pixel recreation is kind of flawed, because originally games were meant to be kind of, when they did the pixel designs and everything, it was supposed to be on a CRT, so the smoothing or like the smudging of the TV is the art was intended for that. So when we get pixel animation now, it's not what it originally was supposed to look like. Actually,
well, here's the problem.
It looks all clean and fresh, it doesn't look the same.
But the problem with that is, and this reflects my own little world. This is only my experience. People have rightfully spoken against this claim I'm about to make, but nobody has a CRT anymore. Like, most people do not. At least most people I have met. And you can't buy them. Like, they don't make new CRTs anymore, as far as I'm concerned, or as I've found out.
They absolutely do not.
No.
Pawn shops do not carry them. Like, I've been to every single pawn shop, used store like Value Village and all that stuff in Goodwill near me, and I have not found a single CRT at any of them, so you can't get them that way anymore. Ethan gets his new special CRTs from a friend he met on Facebook. And you have also insisted that you can get
a CRT. I got a CRT 2 weeks ago from a friend who's moving, and he got rid of his. And you go on Facebook Marketplace, and there are dozens and dozens of them for free. I told you to go to Facebook Marketplace. You're like, no. And then you can't find any. And you're like, you see, you can't find them anywhere. Go on Facebook Marketplace. They're everywhere, dude.
Yeah, but then I'd have to use Facebook.
Well, do it. You can't say that there's no supply if you don't go to the place where I told you the supply is.
You can try like OfferUp or some other alternatives, so that way you can avoid Facebook.
Or go to Craigslist
My point is that they are not readily accessible. You can find them if you know where to look and you have the right connections. But it's not like something you can just go out and buy now. And I remember asking a pawn shop owner if they had CRTs, and they're like, what's that? First of all, they didn't know what I was talking about. I'm like, an old tube TV. And it's like, oh no, we don't have those anymore. Because apparently they're too big and bulky to be worth keeping around. And I have no idea where I'm going.
Unless you're a person like me who's like niche and interested in that sort of thing, then like nobody's ever going to go buy an older nobody's ever going to buy a CRT.
The thing is like, yeah, like primarily it's a thing for retro gamers. And it's like, you say Facebook Marketplace has them for free, but what I do know from looking around on like eBay is that usually the CRTs
eBay is the worst. eBay
Yes.
is absolutely the worst one because it is exclusively people who know what they have. Whereas if you go on Facebook Marketplace, it's a bunch of older people trying to get rid of crap from their garage, and they see a TV as a piece of crap. But then they try to spin it like...
there are a ton of little baby CRTs, and usually you can find those, but oftentimes they'll have like one composite input or like an RF input. You know what I mean? And that they never have S-video, they're dinky and tiny and small, and they charge like $50 for them. And if you want to get like a decent, say, Sony Trinitron set, usually the people that sell those on eBay know that they're worth a lot because retro gamers want them. They will pay a lot for them. So they'll charge like a whole bunch of money for it. Like, I got my PVM for a cheaper price than some of these consumer-grade CRTs are being sold for.
Let's see, I'm looking right now, and there is a Sony KV36 XBR 800 with the matching stand for free, which is a gigantic HD CRT TV that is in 16:9, which is a...
Alonzo, oh, I'm supposed to go
Like-
here? Why?
It is literally it has the Trinitron aperture grill style on it, and it's literally free.
Editing Mikey, I want you to go back and see if they told me to go to this place, and if I just missed it or not.
Hi.
Editor's note.
Right
probably
here.
did.
There's a Sony
It seems like
KV27
Eggman's machines
V20,
are
which is a
looking for you.
27-inch Sony
What did you do
Trinitron,
this time?
literally free in Minneapolis right now.
Their target is probably Mephiles.
Free. There's a
What
TV from the
is Eggman up to?
1960s, it looks
Is
like,
Mephiles?
that had they're asking $30 for it. 33-inch
wait a
tube
sec.
TV in Lakeville
I
for
can
free.
handle this alone. You keep track of
1993
Mephiles.
vintage Magnavox TV up in Minneapolis, $20. There's a
He
Zenith,
finally
there's a
shows up
Philips,
again,
there's
and
a,
then he leaves before even saying hello.
let's see, another Philips, another Trinitron.
It
That's
seems
an
his little trick
adjuster
hasn't
replacement
changed
tube.
him.
So I guess the moral
Like,
of this
they're
story
fucking
is,
everywhere.
if you want a
This is
CRT,
Rouge,
follow
GUNHK.
Ethan's advice.
Yes, don't complain
They're
about
all
it after
available
not
data
following
on
Ethan's
either
advice,
side
Mikey.
Center of darkness for me.
He got you there, Mikey.
And I couldn't even imagine how many are in Seattle, which is a much larger metropolitan area.
I did see
You-
a CRT at like a music store once in downtown Seattle, but it was like $120, and it was huge.
Just drive down residential streets, you could still find people discarding them on the curb.
Yeah, honestly.
It doesn't mean they could have been rained on, for all I know.
So you'll never know until you pick it up, and if it doesn't work, you take it to a recycling.
Yeah, or a landfill.
Even if they're rained on,
fuckers are heavy.
they'll still work most of the time.
If you get a big one, yeah.
Yeah, you got me there.
They're not. I mean, you can get a 32 or a 23, and they're not that heavy.
Like, say I had decided to buy that one that I saw in downtown Seattle. It's probably like a good 80 pounds right there, and it was probably like a 17-inch TV, something like that. A little bigger than a foot.
No, a 17-inch would never be that heavy. Even my 27. Well, let's see.
Well, I'd have to carry that shit for like 4 blocks to get back to my car.
flat screen CRT are always heavier than curved screens, and curved screens are generally better overall for many reasons. But remember that 20-inch TV that I had in college and junior and senior year in the apartment? That was the one you played on a lot of times. I had it on that little
Yeah.
wooden stand.
So the one I was referring
That
to was
thing is
about
like-
that size, yeah.
That TV is so easy, is so light I could carry it 4 blocks. It's probably 30 pounds. So if it was 17 inches and a curved screen, it would be much lighter than even that.
No.
But like, I have this.
What the
I have
fuck?
I don't remember the model.
The fuck is this? Why is the barrier still here?
I have,
Oh, I'm supposed to hit the train. Okay.
Are you on the motorcycle yet?
No, we're chasing after Eggman and Radical Train.
I've got a Sharp F540.
So here's what I'm gonna do, Ethan. I'm gonna put up a thing of me being wrong in the edit, and then we're gonna move on. Because you've proven your point that Mikey is wrong.
He just wants you to get a CRT.
Oh no, I'm not talking. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about something. I was just saying how heavy that TV is, because that's a 32-inch flat screen TV, and flat screens are already heavier than curved screens. That fucking TV is like 146 pounds. It is so goddamn heavy. Anytime I have to move it anywhere is the worst. So, like, no fucking wonder. Oh, and this 30-inch widescreen TV that I have is 120 pounds. Like, CRTs don't belong anywhere except for retro gamers. For good reason. Those things fucking suck to move.